Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake with the Saturday morning sun popped on the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal while I tell your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning we watched Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts.
Yeah, Wonderbeasts. It's hard to get I don't know, like when I say it, sometimes I feel like I can't get the plural emphasis there. Like it sounds like I'm saying Wonderbeasts, but I'm trying to say Wonderbeasts.
You have to hiss a little bit. You have to be a Wonderbeast. Be one of those rocker snakes.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Kipo and the Age of the Wonderbeast. Well, not anymore because I've said it so many times, but before, that's what I kept doing. It's like, is it Age of the Wonderbeast? But it's not. It's not.
It's strange to me that there isn't the there. That was a weird sentence for me to say. That there wasn't the there. God, I can't English anymore.
Let's say it. Let's say it out real quick. Kipo and the Age of the Wonderbeast. And the Age of the Wonderbeast. Kipo and the Age of the Wonderbeast.
It doesn't sound right.
That's too long.
It doesn't sound right anymore.
No.
Well, hey, this is streaming on Netflix. It was produced by DreamWorks. There's that. So that's cool, right?
So I guess I'll go into this stuff. So Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeast started in 2020 and is still going, hopefully. Created by Radford Sechrist, based on the webcomic Kipo by Radford Sechrist, developed by Bill Wolkoff, produced by DreamWorks Animation Television and Studio Mir, ran for 1 season, 10 episodes so far on Netflix, like you were saying. For a short synopsis, Kipo Oak, a 13-year-old girl, is searching for her father after being forced to flee from her underground city. To do so, she travels through an overgrown post-apocalyptic urban wasteland ruled by sentient mutant animals, mutes, together with her new friends, Wolf, Mondu, Benson, and Dave.
Okay, I just want to point something out really quick.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that just got edited a lot, but like the reason Joseph was laughing at the end of that description is because he screwed it up so many times and had to keep re-recording it, and we were just laughing the whole time.
The reason you hear me shout post-apocalyptic is because I could not say it. It took me 4 tries to get it out, and anger is the only thing that forced it through.
You were getting so upset. I love it.
I hate when English just fails me.
It's just one of those days today that like words don't work anymore, because it's like I don't understand how to pronounce things now. And now I'm kind of wondering, like, have I ever pronounced anything right? I don't know.
It's like when I go through the day leading up to us recording, I'm like, man, I'm speaking so perfectly. I've warmed up. Everything's good. And then I come in here and I'm just like, bleh. My tongue falls out of my mouth. It's terrible.
I just like this idea of you like wandering around like your workplace and you like just happen to like pass by someone and you're like, hey, nice day out today, isn't it? And then you're like, yeah, I said that so good. Man, I'm good at talking.
Hey, boss, post-apocalyptic. He's like, oh, man, nicely said. Nicely said.
I can't believe you're so good at, you are just unparalleled at saying those words together.
Spot on.
Then you get here, and it's just all out the window.
So who are some of the actors who played in this show?
All right, so the voice of Kipo Oak was provided by Karen Fukuhara, who was, you've probably seen her in Suicide Squad. If you caught that one, she was Katana. So you probably didn't see her face, but you did see the mask, and she was awesome. She's also the female on the Amazon Prime show The Boys, which is pretty cool. If you haven't checked it out, I just started watching it. She also voices Glimmer in She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. The voice of Wolf was provided by Sydney Michaela, who was known for playing Olive on the School of Rock TV series, and Trina Robinson in General Hospital. And a lot of these people, while I'm just kind of mentioning it now, a lot of them are going to be more veterans of live action than they would be of doing voiceover, except this next person, the voice of Mondu, which was basically just piggy noises, was provided by D. Bradley Baker, who's in everything. It would take way too long to discuss it, but he has done a lot of animal kind of noises, kind of like Frank Welker for various things. This guy is just, I mean, he's great. There you go. D. Bradley Baker, you're great. You're killing it. Keep going, buddy. The voice of Benson was provided by Coy Stewart, who played Kevin Kingston in Are We There Yet? Troy Dixon in Bella and the Bulldogs, Lorenzo in Mr. Iglesias, which is, guys, I'm going to tell you something. And Joseph, you know, like, I like some comedy. I love Fluffy. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Iglesias is probably one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
I was hoping
everyone.
for better news.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. I barely made it through one episode. He also played Flint in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is awesome. I didn't watch the last several seasons of that, so I didn't know they even introduced that character, so that's cool. And then also the character of Vontae Jones in The Blacklist, which I hear is also cool and have not seen. Voice of Dave was provided by Dion Cole, who's made many appearances on Conan. And he also plays Charlie Telfie in not just the show Grownish, but also the show Blackish. And finally, our last character I'm going to talk about right now is Leo Oak. That is hard to say. Leo Oak. There we go. Got it. Voiced by Sterling K. Brown, which I love this guy. This guy's everywhere these days, and I think he's a phenomenal actor. He played Gordon Walker in Supernatural, for all you Supernatural fans out there. He was also Roland Burton in Army Wives, probably most notably known right now for playing Randall Pearson in This Is Us, which, Joseph, if you ever just want to cry, watch This Is Us, because, like, you'll cry every 5 minutes. I'm not kidding.
I don't need any help to cry, Chris. I do it all the time.
It is a beautiful and devastating show. Every other, like, 5 minutes, you get one and then the other, and it just always keeps going and going. But it's fantastic, and he is probably the best part of it. He's amazing. He also played Killmonger's father in Black Panther.
Oh, nice.
So you might recognize him from there. He's great. I love this guy. But that's our cast. It's a really good cast.
So, I'm sorry, kids. No marshmallows in today's bowl of cereal.
What?
Instead, there's a pretty special toy found at the bottom of the box in the form of our interview with show creator Rad Sechrist and developer Bill Wolkoff.
Yeah. So yeah, it's also being released today. This is usually released like 6 a.m. Central, and then the interview will be at noon Central. Wherever you are, just go with noon. I don't know time zones. Don't limit me.
So yeah, like it's sort of like all the smaller marshmallows we would have given gathered and fused into one giant, all-powerful marshmallow bent on Bodal domination.
Did you just say Bodal? Bodal domination.
Bodal domination. Let that sink in.
So stupid. Shame on you.
Don't judge.
No, you're judged.
For that big hit of sugary goodness, check out the companion episode to this one, which, like Chris said, will be coming out later this morning.
And it's super awesome, guys. Like, this is a great interview. It's really fun. There's a lot of funny stuff. And, like, you're going to hear so many things about the show that you're not going to get from any other interview with these guys. Because we asked some pretty creative questions, and we got to learn a lot about their process, especially with the different characters and stuff. So if you like this episode and if you like the show Kipo, you can't miss that interview. Like, this is like the ultimate interview for a thing that you would like enjoy.
So this show is brand new. Neither of us had really heard of it before. It was kind of on our watch list for a little while.
Yeah.
The opportunity to talk to Rad and Bill came up, and so we, of course, blazed right through it. But for the sake of today's show, as usual, we're going to just review 3 episodes of it. So let's go ahead and jump into those episodes, which, I mean, normally we'll do a highest rated, but today we just did the first episode, and then one chosen by Chris, one chosen by me. Since we've seen the whole thing now, at least the whole first season,
Yep.
We are excited to talk about the ones that we chose.
Oh, yeah.
The first episode, of course, is Burrow Girl, Season 1, Episode 1, where Kipo finds herself on the surface world and meets Mandu and Wolf. That is a very brief description, but it's not wrong.
It isn't wrong. And, like, this episode in particular really is pretty short, if you think about it, because it's like she is just basically like, I don't know, Kipo's leading us into this world that we're unfamiliar with because she's unfamiliar with it. So we're seeing like the kinds of people she meets, the kinds of animals she sees, the threats that she encounters, and also the beauty of the world. And my God, this is the big thing that you're going to notice right off the bat about this show. It is beautiful. The colors specifically it's the most vibrant looking show I've ever seen in my life. And I am in love with it.
Very vibrant, especially for a post-apocalyptic show where the world as we know it has crumbled, but nature has retaken over. And it's like, you know what? That's not such a bad thing because it's really beautiful.
With like a vengeance too. So if I remember right, so our world ended 200 years ago.
Right.
The humans are now mostly living underground. Not all, but most of the like civilized humanity is underground. And then the animals, most of them mutated, and that's why they're called mutes, into either like some of them are like giants, some of them are just have like extra limbs and eyes and things like that. And most of them seem to be anthropomorphic now. So now they're basically the dominant species. And there's just so much variation. And they all have these really well fleshed out personalities and I don't know, like their own rich cultures.
Yeah, I was going to say they have like clans now. They have their own packs, but it's like, even though they all have individual personalities, it's almost like whatever these animals were around when this mutation happened, they took that in as their own culture, and their worlds now revolve around that, and whatever that may have been. Like one of the first things we get to see is these giant flowers, and then inside of it are these dubstep bees, and those are hilarious.
I loved them so much, and I don't know what the official term for them is. I have called them rave bees, and I've also called them EDM wasps. And I love both of those terms, but like they're hilarious.
The official term is dubstep bees.
Dubstep bees. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
They are hilarious because Kipo disturbs one of their flowers and you see him like kind of shaking their fist at her. And it's just, they don't speak. They're just always doing that like, womp, 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 womp. They're always
it's like they're
constant dubstep.
Their butts and eyes change colors, and it's just like wow, 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 wow.
Yeah. So
when
that's
they're
their
mad.
Communication. Instead of buzzing, they're
It's just
dubstepping.
dubstep. I love it.
What's great also, and I just want to say this right off the bat, is because it relates to what we're talking about now, the music of this show is incredible. The soundtrack, amazing. I love it. It's kind of a mix between hip hop, folk, dubstep in certain ways, and just et cetera, et cetera. There's so much to it. And so many different songs that are so catchy. Like I've been listening to so much of it in my car on the way home or singing it to myself. I'm not a great singer, but I will still sing to myself in the lonesomeness of my car where no one else can hear me and judge me. But what I'm getting at is the music here, like let's say they're going to break out in a song. In another show, that might pause the whole world around them. And then you'd see them start to like sing and kind of go into this separate, almost like a separate pocket universe where it's a musical.
Yes.
In this show, the music that's happening is very organic. It's happening with the characters all around it. They're all kind of interacting with it as well. Like one of the first songs we get to see is Kipo, she finds a guitar, she tunes it up, she starts to sing. And then in the middle of her singing, like some little bird comes and like crashes through the window to try to eat her. That interrupts her song. But it's one of those things where we learn a little bit later that making noise in this world is kind of like being a dinner bell and saying, hey, come here and eat me.
Yeah, because I mean, the giant mutes that aren't the like anthropomorphic ones. Yeah, those things are a real threat.
Because they're still sort of mindless, not mindless, but they are still very driven by instinct.
Yeah, they're very animalistic still in their thinking. They're not as developed as some of the other ones are. It's
still a bird, but it's a giant bird. So it's just finding its small prey, which is now you.
I think I'd want to talk about, instead of giving like a whole bunch on the plot of this, like I'd like to give like a brief overview of what kind of happens. But I want to talk more about like the characters that we meet. So the first one is Mondu, which is this little pig. adorable pig. Not a talking mute, but not a giant, just still small pig sized, but like kind of a teal color, extra legs and extra eyes, and is just super cute, super adorable. Mandu is intelligent, just not like the kind of intelligent that can talk. It's almost like, like a dog that can understand everything that you say and pays attention and stuff. So Mandu is great, and she named him after a dumpling.
Yeah, a dumpling her dad used to make, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like the whole world has these sort of different mutes. Not all of them are vicious or anything. One of them she comes across is a snail, but it's so big it's using like the shell of a car as its shell. And so she's kind of riding around to that with dubstep going on. You see it's just the bees. That's what I mean.
The dubstep bees were in the car with her, acting as her stereo.
Like, it looks like she's just rocking out to dubstep, but it's actually just those bees sitting in the back. So that's what I mean by the musical interludes being very organic to the show and being a part of it as opposed to a separate thing altogether.
Right.
After she meets Mandu and befriends her, Mandu gets attacked and grabbed and kind of strung up to be eaten by a character we come to know as Wolf. We actually don't know her actual name.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she knows it at this point, but it's interesting seeing her. She's just a little girl. And so she is just, even though she's small in stature, she is very well trained in in how to survive.
Yeah.
Her weapon is stocky, which is a rod, like a rebarb rod or something with a scorpion stinger at the end of it.
A giant stinger. Yeah.
A giant scorpion stinger on the end of it. And when she uses it on something, it puts them to sleep.
Yeah, it kind of like, knocks them out, paralyzes them, they fall asleep. But yeah, Wolf is she's this little girl. She is no nonsense, survival of the fittest, like will be able to take out multiple people, like a 5 versus 1 battle. Nothing to her. She's fine. She has been surviving in this open world, like one of the very few humans that we actually ever see, not in the underground, which is called a burrow. The reason Kipo's out there is because something had happened. We'll get a little bit into that in the next episode because that's kind of when it's revealed. But she got separated from her burrow and specifically her dad, and she's trying to find a way back. And when she meets Mandu, that's more of like oh, you're so cute as like a friend and pet kind of thing. But Wolf, it's just like, I mean, you kind of know this world, like you could help me, find my way back. But like Wolf, she's just trying to survive, man. So she wants to eat Mandu, and Kipo's trying to have to like sabotage it the whole way. And by doing so, she ends up forming a very fragile friendship between the two of them. And that was really cool. And one thing I just wanted to say, just because I was talking about earlier how beautiful the world is, one of the things I appreciate is that Kipo like recognizes that. Like, she's just so full of wonder and everything is just so interesting to her. And I think one of the things that really sold me during this first episode is when they're at night and they're supposed to be sleeping, and Kipo's just staring up at the stars and how beautiful they are. And she said there's so many more than she thought. She's seeing, like her astrological sign for the first time and thinks it's like the greatest thing ever.
Which actually comes into play too, her being Aries.
Oh man, everything is so tied together in this show.
It really
amazing.
is. It's great watching this show, the first episode again, after having seen everything else. And you're like, oh, okay, I see how this is all tying together and leading to what's going to come. But yeah, she's been so restricted and not restricted, but she's been so blind to everything that is up here in the outer world. She's only heard about it from her dad, who is a teacher, and seen it in books, but she never had seen any of this in person. So yeah, like you said, she's full of wonder.
We also get introduced to the mod frogs, which is great.
The mod frogs
is the first one we meet. The mod frogs are great. They're what they sound like. It's a bunch of anthropomorphic frog people all dressed in like business suits. Jamak's got like that pencil mustache. I love his design so much. He's like Clark Gable as a frog is what he looks like. And I love it so much.
And the action scenes are actually really cool in this too. Like the mod frog specifically, you see those tongues come whipping out, and it actually has some really interesting scenes involving those, and you see it a lot. The Mega Bunnies also are something that Kipo learns quickly about in this episode, because a Mega Bunny is like a gigantic Mega Mute, which is this rabbit has like multiple legs, like so many pairs of ears, and if you touch one of its young, like if you have that smell on you, it's going to come after you.
Yeah.
And so she learns that very quickly because she finds a bunch of little baby ones and starts petting them, and then it comes hunting after her later.
Oh, yeah.
But with Jamot, going back to the mod frogs, like they accidentally intrude on in his office, on his space, get some ink on his shirt, and his outfit is like so important to him as a businessman. So he starts freaking out. They've got some stain removers, so Wolf throws that out the window, so he's forced to go grab it. He starts coming after them when that's all said and done. And that's what kind of leads us towards the end of this first episode, where they're hiding in this house and they hear a crying baby. They pick it up, and it ends up being our introduction to Dave.
Yeah, he's a big baby grub. Well, for that few minutes. Yeah, I think so. So we don't get a lot of Dave in this episode, and we don't meet Benson in this episode. We really meet the two in the next one. But we kind of skipped that because our next episode that we watched is episode 3. But I feel like we need to introduce those two real quick. So like, try to describe Dave for me real quick.
So Dave, he's a mute bug, but he is constantly going through all the stages that a bug goes through, from cocoon to, or I guess from, cocoon to larva to his shell phase, whatever. And then into some really muscular, like winged phase, and then to a really old man phase, and then back to grub. So it's like Dave can't die. He just constantly regenerates, but he doesn't do it at will. It's just sort of reacts to his emotions at the time. Or sometimes I guess it's timed. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah. But it's never convenient for him when it happens.
And it's always hilarious every single time.
Every time it happens, no matter how many times you see him evolve into his old man form, it's hilarious every time.
One of my favorites was, I don't remember which episode it was, but when he mutated into his big bulky form, where he's basically like a giant Hercules beetle with all these muscles. And it was like he was under some kind of stress, but then that happens and he's like, yeah, finally. And then immediately like wilts and the old man version pops out and he's like, oh.
It was one of the ones we watched, one of these 3, because
I think you're right. Yeah.
Because I remember Benson saying like, oh, he's got performance anxiety. He was doing something, he was about to save the day, and then
that
he just turns back into his old man form. Yeah.
So Benson is his longtime friend. Benson is he's a human. He's just like a couple years older than Kipo, not by much. So I think Kipo, at the beginning of this episode, she's 12 years old. So I'm going to guess Benson's probably like 14 or so.
I think Benson's 16 officially.
16? Okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of a cool guy. Like he doesn't lose his cool much. He's like been living on the surface, but he is not nearly like hardened like Wolf is. But he takes care of Dave when Dave's, in his like baby form and stuff, and treats him like a baby. But they're just buds, and he's really there just having a good time, just kind of enjoying life. He loves music. So a lot of the music that we'll hear, especially hip hop related, is him listening to this like old cassette player, like a Walkman that he's got, which is awesome.
Yeah, Benson is really chill, and he is the best dresser. Like, give me that cat shirt. Give me that awesome backpack. I need all of that.
And him and Dave together are like the perfect comedic relief. Like everybody in this show is funny. Like Kipo is that naive funny, but like Dave and Benson together is just great. Like if they ever were like, oh, we have to do one episode where it's just those two, be 100% in. I mean, I love the other characters too. Like, don't get me wrong, but these two are just gold.
So let's jump into the second episode we watched for today's show. Real Cats Wear Plaid, season 1, episode 3. This was your pick, where Kipo and her new friends are held captive by a clan of Timbercats.
Oh my God, I love the Timbercats so much.
Describe Timbercats for everybody.
So the Timbercats are, they look like cats. They're stocky though, very fluffy. They are taller than humans, so I mean they're quite a bit like bigger, wider, taller, muscular. They wear plaid, and they're basically lumberjacks. They spend their time in this forest. They have a sacred tree that in this episode you find out had been stolen. Like a giant mute literally walked by and ripped it out of the ground. What's interesting, we got like a little tidbit here at the very beginning of this episode to see how Kipo was separated from her burrow, which is a giant mute attacked where her burrow was. Actually, the one that had stolen their tree had carved the tip into like a spear, shoved it into the burrow to break into there. Her dad and her were like rock climbing above some stream underground. He saw what was happening. He knew apparently what was going to happen. He knocks Kipo off the rocks into the water, and then he was going to jump in after her, and they were both going to get swept out of the burrow really quickly. But before he could drop in after her, when she gets swept through this pipe, a big pile of rocks lands and blocks him from doing it. So he has to run with the rest of the burrow and basically hide. And that's why Kipo is separated from everybody else.
You know what that reminded me of when the giant tree was being like stuck through the burrow is, do you remember, or have you ever seen, I'm not sure if it's monkeys or what it is, but when they use kind of like bamboo or something and like shove it into ant piles or something like that.
Absolutely.
I can't remember. Yeah, like that's what it really reminded me of.
Yeah,
so
apes are known to do things like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was, I'm glad that we got to kind of see, like they intersperse every couple episodes some stuff about her and her dad, and it just really drives home the heart of this show. So basically at the end of episode 2, which is leading us into this episode, our little group of friends here, Kipo, Wolf, Mondu, Benson, and Dave, are captured by the Timbercats and brought back to their little forest lair. And they're basically, I think they're planning to eat them. I think that was the basic plan originally.
Well, they're arguing over either eat them or bat them around.
Yes.
Like a cat would do to a toy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the things I wanted to bring up that I absolutely love about the Timbercats is how they're so anthropomorphic, but they're also so cat-like still. Like some of the things that they do and say just crack me up because I'm like, okay, if a cat could actually talk, this is what they would be doing. You know, I love that, especially when we meet their leader, Yum Yum Hammerpaw, who is my favorite character of all time. He is amazing. So they kind of talked about how their leader is missing. Well, the way they talk about it, at first you don't think he's missing. You think he's recently passed, like he's been killed or dead or something.
When they refer to him, they look up in the sky and everyone's just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's so funny. But the truth is he's just been up a tree. But these trees are giant. Like think about like the redwood forest or something, like how huge those are and that canopy. He's basically up those. Like that's kind of the forest they live in. And he's up one of those, just jumping around from tree to tree, trying to catch this big butterfly that he's been up there trying to catch for days. And that's the best part. I'll talk more about that when we get there. But oh my God, to get themselves out of trouble, Pierre, which is Yum Yum's pet, who's a giant tick, is kind of wreaking havoc everywhere.
No. He's a giant flea.
Giant flea, that's right. He's just jumping around everywhere, causing havoc. They're trying to get him back on his leash. And how Kipo and her friends kind of not quite get in good graces yet, but get out of their immediate danger as Kipo volunteers to get Pierre back on his leash. And one thing I liked about this, because this speaks so much to Kipo's personality, is her companions all are like, okay, if we're doing this, let's do it. And they jump in like to basically attack Pierre to like subdue him. But Kipo's immediate reaction is not violence, you know, it's not aggression or fighting. She looks around and she sees like his food dish and stuff. So her thing is just give him food and then I'll put the collar on while he's eating. And it was easy for her. She didn't have to put like any effort into it. The others just like were getting thrown around all over the place like a bucking bronco, you know?
Yeah, it's like Kipo approaches every situation with peace in mind.
Yeah. It's like aggression doesn't register to her.
Right, exactly. Aggression is not her first thought. And so she's able to, in that way, connect with a lot of these animals, whether they're the evolved mutes or not, or whether they're just giant animals. And so when she finally is able to put the leash on Pierre, like, everyone's thankful and sort of impressed. And the Timbercats still end up saying, basically, like, we're just going to trade you. We won't eat you, but we'll just trade you to Scarlemagne. That's what we'll do.
Scarlemagne's the big bad of the show, as far as we know. And we see him in the next episode we're going to talk about, so I'll save some of that. But we hear that name pop up a lot. And I like how they did it. They really seeded it very well, and that you hear the name and you just know it's something bad. Something to be afraid of, because everybody's kind of afraid of him, which is why they're always trying to appease him.
There's a lot of lead into that too, where it's like you hear Scarlemagne so much and you're just like, what? Who is Scarlemagne? Like, I keep hearing this name, and that sort of like puts us in the place of Kipo and her friends too.
So now that they've done something good for the Timbercats are like kind of cool with them, but making them make food for them. So they're going to make pancakes, but Dave and Benson had this idea on trying to trick them so they can get out of there, so the Timbercats don't sell them to Scarlemagne or something. And they just nonchalantly, this one Timbercat is kind of just off in his own world, and they keep shaving his fur and putting it in the pancake batter and make all these pancakes, feed it to all the Timbercats. Now, one thing that happens before their plan comes to fruition is we get the song about Yum Yum Hammerpaw, and I love this song, and I think about it way too often. It's dangerous, the amount of times I think about it and want to sing it. But it's great. You guys have to hear that song. The Timbercats all get hairballs from the pancakes, which was kind of the plan. But instead of escaping, Kipo's like, no, I'm gonna, like, she found out that Yum Yum wasn't dead. He's just up those trees. So she's like, all right, well, I'm going to go get him and get him back down here as, a sign of good faith.
Yeah. So while all her friends are sleeping, she literally climbs that giant tree by herself with an axe and is able to find Yum Yum up there, still trying to pounce on that butterfly.
God, that's the best.
Screaming his catchphrase, his new catchphrase that he's testing out, which is Yum Yum owns you all.
So this was voiced by Steve Bloom, which y'all know we love Steve Bloom so much. I love everything he's done. This might be my favorite role he's ever done. The voice is amazing. It is a take that I've never heard him quite do.
Right.
The character is hilarious because he's supposed to be he's the biggest of the Timbercats. He's this big, fierce leader. He's got a fierce look to him. But the way they animate him is what sells it. Because he's jumping around trying to catch this butterfly, looking like a real cat would be trying to catch a butterfly. The way he jumps, the way he hunches down and wiggles his butt before he leaps into the air. It's like all of these things, and he's so obsessed with catching this butterfly. It is amazingly funny. The whole scene was just fantastic. And that's when I was just like, this might be one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Even when Kipo is able to get the butterfly to come over to her, he still, just like a cat would, tries to pounce on it. And that's what kind of leads him into a state of feeling defeated. Yeah. Because not rooted with this butterfly, that was only part of it. Because the reason he's going after the butterfly in the first place is because their sacred scratching tree was taken, like we were talking about earlier. And this butterfly used to kind of roost in that tree. So the butterfly, in his mind, is still carrying the spirit of the tree, and he's trying to capture it, so he will at least have that.
Right.
So he's feeling like a failure as a leader because he lost a tree, which is why he sort of abandoned his clan, his pack, so that he could go get whatever last remnant of the tree that he could, and he's failing at that too. So it goes into kind of a deep moment where he's feeling like a failure. I love the scene where he's kind of sitting down, looking down, and Kipo sitting beside him and trying to explain to him, like, that they need you. Your clan needs you more than they need that tree.
Yeah.
So you need to get back down there. And he's like, all right, well, give me a minute to gather myself. And she does his thing where she pounces on him and knocks him down.
Yeah.
And kind of forces him to go back down to the ground where his clan is.
And I love that they fall all the way through this giant tree, but he still lands on all fours. But he looks really, like, unhappy about it, which is hilarious because it's like the look that a cat would give when it just fell from a big height. You know, it still lands on its all fours, but it's just like kind of shaking, like, oh.
sends a shockwave through the ground. But it's so good.
Everyone's so happy he gets back his like they all carry axes, but he's got a giant axe that's also a guitar, and it is the coolest thing ever, and I love it.
Oh yeah. We go over to her friends still, and now they're concerned about her because they wake up and find that she's not there. So they're coming out again, ready to attack and find Kipo. And then they see her kind of walking over this like tree bridge with this big like army of the Timbercats. And she's like, you know, you said we needed an army. Well, guess what? We have an army now.
Yeah.
You know, she took a peaceful route and was still able to get this to happen. And so I think it's kind of at that point showing her friends that, wow, she really does have this effect on people. She's able to gather people together.
Exactly. And that's the Timbercats.
What made you choose that episode real quick?
I just love the Timbercats, man. They're my favorite. Like, it's hard to pick a favorite mute because there's so many good ones. I love the Dubstep Bees. They were my favorite right off the bat until we met the Timbercats. Oh my God, I love the Timbercats so much. But I also love the Rats. Also, like we're not going to talk about that one, but the Rats are also some of my favorites. But like, if I had to only choose one, I would absolutely choose the Timbercats as the ones I would hang out with.
For me, it's going to be the ones we talk about in the next episode, which is Twin Beaks, Season 1, Episode 8, where Kipo searches for another clue among the fitness raccoons. And fitness raccoons are so hilarious. They are a group of raccoons that essentially are just doing, is it like 80s?
Yes.
Dress
80s,
CrossFit?
They're doing 80s aerobics.
80s aerobics, exactly. They have the sweats on, like the brightly colored sweats and everything. And they are so focused on exercise and getting pumped and their protein and whatever, except for one of them. He's more focused on just zen and peace and stuff. And I love that all their names are just whatever they're finding on the ground, like carton, label, tongue depressor. Yeah.
But the best of all, DJ Crowbar.
Lest we forget. Yeah. Never forget about DJ Crowbar.
This is for you, DJ Crowbar.
So, so they fall down, the group, Kipo and the group fall down into this trash heap, which they're trying to hunt down clues that her dad has left her to try to find where the new clover is, where, that's essentially where everyone has moved to, all the other burrow people, the other burrow. So they're trying to follow these clues. They find, and they're all kind of found in these little red lunch boxes with Aries signs on them.
Yeah.
And so they find this next one that's up on top of like a large nose or something near a garbage heap.
Well, it's not just a heap. It is a literal canyon of garbage.
Okay,
They call it Garbage Canyon, which is great.
Garbage Canyon, And so Dave goes up to get it, but he's only able to, like, he tries with all his might to become his strong, like, winged form, but all he's able to do is, like, make one of his arms super buff. So he uses that to, like, get himself up there. And he tosses the lunchbox down at them, but uses too much force and throws it right into the garbage heap, into the garbage canyon. And well, it doesn't fall through yet. So they go down to get it, but then they end up falling through. And this is the lair of the fitness raccoons.
Yes. And I love them. They're so funny. I love they're all like so, they have such a sunny disposition, which cracks me up. Like
they're one friendly mutes.
That one main girl, I can't remember her name if we did learn it all, but she's just so like happy and like energetic all the time. And I think that's really fun. I love that a lot.
When they first fall through and they're afraid these raccoons are going to attack them, like we see them come out and we see her get like a kind of a stern look on her face, and she's like, something's wrong here. You're not moving. Let's go. And then she starts to exercise off. They find out these raccoons are friendly, which is great. And they're trying to help her find her the lunchbox that had fallen through. In the process, or at some point during their workout, this giant pigeon like pokes its head through and grabs a couple of them. And they're so used to that. They're so used to it. Like they're just like, oh, Beak came to get an energy snack or something. So they're used to losing their people to this large bird because they don't really have a way to defend against it.
And they're too afraid to also, like,
yeah.
Kipo at some point and her group try to convince them like, hey, we got to do something. And they're just too afraid to even like, they won't even look at Kipo when she even like suggests it. They're just so afraid of it.
Even when they are able to, they don't convince them really. They're able to get them to come out by tricking them into thinking it's going to be either for meditation or exercise. And so they set up this plan to kind of get this bird away, just to ward off Beak Beak. It's an elaborate plan, but it involves the raccoons carrying around giant mirrors as part of their workout because, you know, it's just more weight as they're running through or whatever. And then Benson convinces TD or tongue depressor to, he's like, what would be better than the tree meditation is like doing the tree meditation on a tree. And he's like, yes, I love the way you think, brother. But what they're actually doing is like grabbing this giant, it's kind of like a strung together clothes or something, like bands
basically
of some
a big
sort.
rope that they made out of clothes.
Right. And so they string those up on top of these like telephone poles. Yeah. And so they're able to finally take care of Beak Beak.
Some stuff goes down though with Wolf and Kipo that isn't ideal, which really sucks.
Yeah, and that's sort of how we close out of that episode.
There's a few things I did want to mention from this though that I think were really cool and really interesting. Like, so Benson had quite a bit of character development in this one because he starts out the episode like super depressed and not really understanding why. And Dave tries to cheer him up by like once DJ Crowbar got taken by Beak Beak, R.I.P. DJ Crowbar. He has Benson start DJing for the workout and Dave's hyping everyone up, getting him to cheer Benson's name, but it's just not working and stuff. Benson like finds himself again, finds happiness in helping the fitness raccoons by like, you know, helping liberate them and stuff. And I think that was a really big moment for him because it's one of those moments where he's kind of like, I see where Kipo gets it from. Like now I get it too. And I think that was huge.
It feeds off of the last episode where they're dealing with the giant tardigrade or the water bear.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Essentially, without going into it, Benson gets to experience a happiness he's never felt before in that episode. And lacking that, he starts to feel depressed in this one and is trying to rekindle that same happiness because he's afraid he's never going to feel that sort of happiness again.
And we did see Scarlemagne in this. I don't want to talk too much about him because I think it's more interesting for you guys to like watch the show yourself and see him. But he is, in his own way, he really is kind of terrifying in that he just feels so unhinged. But more in like a Joker kind of way, in that he's very unpredictable, almost in like a bipolar madness kind of way. So it's like, who knows what he's going to do? And everyone's so afraid of him. So all of these different groups, like the Mod Frogs, and you've got the Humming Bombers, which are big hummingbirds that shoot nectar bombs.
You've got the Scooter Skunks.
Scooter Skunks are cool. Yeah, Scooter Skunks. He's got all these groups doing his bidding because they're all so afraid of him. And he's got his own groups of stuff too, aside from these outside ones that he uses for his own means. But it's really cool because I feel like we do get introduced to him before this episode, but this is the episode where I feel like we really feel his true effect on this world, because you see the influence he has over everybody, and you can tell people are afraid of him.
And his primary goal being to essentially take over this entire wasteland.
Yeah. Las Vistas, I think is...
Las Vistas, yeah. Because a lot of it's supposed to be inspired by Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think they just kind of added like Vegas and Los Angeles together for that.
Well, Chris, it looks like it's about time we send our inner kids to the post-apocalyptic world to participate in catchy sing-alongs with mutated animals, then see what they thought of the show, Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts.
This cartoon was so awesome and colorful and all these fun characters and cool animal people and music. And now I want to go 200 years in the future so I can lead an army of timber cats into battle. So I gave this show 5 bowls of hairball pancake batter cereal out of 5.
While post-apocalyptic scenarios have turned into an overused trope of sorts, this show, specifically the titular character Kipo, keeps such a positive outlook throughout that it shines a light of hope onto an otherwise dark world. The characters are diverse, be it different race or species, without that being focused on, and are also likable that it would be impossible for me to choose a favorite. Sure, this is 200 years in the future, and sure, a number of characters we meet are walking, talking mutant animals, and sure, Yum owns us all, but at the end of the day, there's so much heart to this show's core that you sort of set all of that aside and focus on how surprisingly relatable it ends up being. Overall, I give Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts 5 big bowls of This Is for DJ Crowbar cereal out of 5, and I definitely recommend this to kids, adults, and animals of all ages.
No, that is one thing that is cool is like this is one of those that is good for everybody. Like little kids could watch this. Teenagers would get into this. Adults like us are into it. And it's not like one of those ones where, it's like it might be good for some groups and then others tolerate it. Like, no, this is good for everyone. Like everyone is going to find something to enjoy or something to laugh at or something to wonder at with like just the scope and the beauty of this entire world. And like, honestly, like the more I think about it, and I know you and I have talked about it a lot off of outside the podcast, but this honestly might be like the perfect show for me. Like I don't have a single criticism. I don't have a single complaint anywhere to be found. Just the designs, the colors, the music, the characters, the humor, the heart. It's all been blended together into this like masterpiece of an animation. And honestly, I'm just like, I am so excited to see where it goes. And like, I cannot wait to get a second season. If it doesn't get a second season, like oh man, I'm going to be very upset and people will know.
I would be incredibly surprised. It's kind of the best of all the things that I like as well. Like all of the things that we talk about liking about cartoons, this show has in it. And it feels actually really cool and sort of like hip as well. So that's why I think, as you were saying, kind of teenagers could get into it too without feeling ostracized or whatever. And it has these moral lessons on top of that. So that's going to be great for kids. And just even as an adult watching it, I just had a lot of fun with it. Like the comedy's so on point that even if you're looking past all the valuable moral lessons, that will keep you watching alone. I, again, absolutely recommend this to everybody because I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't like this show.
So thank you, us, for doing this one. I just want to thank myself and thank Joseph for doing this one. But also, thank you to the creators, Rad and Bill, for meeting with us and doing the interview. Again, guys, go listen to that interview. If you are a fan of Kipo already, you're going to love this interview between us. It is fantastic.
Here's one thing I will say, though.
Yes.
Definitely spoilers. We held back a lot in this part of the episode,
yes,
but the interview has a lot that we didn't dive into purposely. So maybe if you plan on watching it, watch it beforehand.
Yes. It has some major spoilers, especially for some huge moments for a few specific characters. So just know that'll happen, but definitely go back and listen to it because it's great. Before we go, we've got a lot of other things to cover real quick. And guys, I hope you stick around. The first one I'm going to say, we ourselves, even though we just interviewed someone, were recently interviewed by Saturday AM, which is an online magazine featuring amateur manga creators. So make sure you go and check them out, going to Saturday AM's website. They are super talented people over there with their pulse on lots of up and coming manga artists. So the interview with us will be featured in issue 117. And I think that drops on March 21st. So please don't miss it. There's some really cool insight to our specific podcast that we do here that I don't think we've really shared anywhere else. Like some of the inspiration for the way we do a few things and how the show developed into what it is. You're going to read that in those articles. So make sure you go and read that interview. Again, that is Saturday AM, the magazine. Also, we've got 3 new 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Yes, that is 3.
Dang.
Yeah. We've been living large the last few weeks. It's been great.
It's been a good year.
Yeah. So this first review, 5 stars from Drip Soup. I like that name, Drip Soup. Drip Soup says, such a great show. Been listening to this show for a few months now and never been disappointed. I found some new favorite shows from listening to the host reviews, so I highly recommend this to anyone looking for a podcast. P.S. You guys should do My Hero Academia. Yup.
Oh, yes.
We are absolutely going to do that one because we both already love it. So that'll happen. There you go. Your wish has been granted.
Well, we haven't disappointed Drip Soup yet. So now I feel like we have to do these things just for him.
Now we can disappoint him. We're going to rate it so low.
No, we have to keep the quality going just for Drip Soup. I don't want to disappoint him.
We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Our next 5-star review is from Epic Otter. Thank you, Epic Otter. Says, these guys are animation experts. It's hard to find a podcast where the commentators are clearly experienced cartoon veterans, but are also able to be incredibly funny and entertaining. Thankfully, this show is just that. I've loved animation since I was 5 and still love it to this day. Keep up the good work, dudes. One recommendation, though, The Amazing World of Gumball. It's a great show on multiple fronts and is definitely one I grew up with. Okay?
You know what? That's one I've never seen, but I've heard really good things about.
I have heard really good things about it, too. Yeah, and I know multiple people have been asking us to do that one. So, we will get to it. I know that, honestly, there's been, like, several people that have requested that one specifically, so we definitely will have to do it. Our last one here is this 5-star review from Tinkerer Anonymous. Deeply touching show, in parentheses, please read review and episode, in parentheses. Well, you got your wish. They say, hi, I listened to Chris's Overwatch Lorecast. I would love more of that too. That was in parentheses. I know. I haven't gotten much from Blizzard for a while, but soon. And I thought I might listen to this, and even after a few episodes, I see that this is a really good show. Good-natured, funny, and lighthearted, much like a child's Saturday morning. And I appreciate how you can find things in a cartoon that have a deeper meaning, and even though I myself am unable to use this, you are very generous with including your audience. Thank you for making this show, and if you do read this on your show, I would prefer to stay anonymous. Well...
All right.
But I mean, we unless your name is legitimately on your birth certificate, Tinkerer Anonymous, I think you're safe. I think we got you, buddy. So thank you very much, Drip Soup, Epic Otter, and Tinkerer Anonymous. Oh, and there's 2 winky faces after that name too. So is that supposed to be like, is one of us supposed to know who this is? I don't know who this is.
I don't know. But if we did, we would have to keep him anonymous anyway.
Do you know anyone that tinkers with stuff? Have you ever seen?
Well,
have you ever watched, like, walked in on one of your friends tinkering?
That's inappropriate. Either way, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys, all of you who have been giving us support with the ratings,
the kind words,
sharing the show with people so that we're getting like people asking us for reviews and stuff. So yeah, it's been great couple of weeks for sure.
You guys make us feel so special. Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And in 2 weeks, we'll be watching
the original DuckTales, submitted via YouTube by Mike Root and via Reddit by Bobby B4000. Did I scare you with my boss Nass duck noise again?
Your boss Nass impersonating Donald Duck noise?
Did I get you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for it, but I'm excited for you because you've never seen the original DuckTales.
I have not. We did get a warning about it that it might not be as good as you remember. Someone did warn us on, I think it was a YouTube comment on one of our, I think when we did the new DuckTales. So I'm gonna come in open-minded, but I will be guarding myself. I will definitely be guarding my soul. Just in case. But I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready.
I'm going to go in. It's going to be hard for me to not like it still. Nostalgia's going to kick in, but I'll try.
We'll see.
Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you in 2 Saturdays.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.